Last night I went home and my 6 and 7-year-old, who are both boys, which should explain a lot about how tired I look all the time. They just finished their first week of school, their first full week, and they are exhausted. It is Friday night, they are fit to be tied, they are just on tilt, totally exhausted. And my husband didn't come home from work. He went straight up to Denver to do his fantasy football draft. With his friends and had a good time. And so I'm putting my 6 and 7-year-old down, and they are just exhausted. It's the first full week of school. They are just overstimulated, and they don't understand why Dad's not tucking them in. They don't understand why the normal bedtime routines aren't applying. And particularly my pretty sensitive 7-year-old just breaks down crying. And he fell asleep crying because the routine was off and it felt off and he's exhausted and he just finished his first week and Dad's not home and the world is ending. And he feels much better this morning. But I thought if my 6 and 7-year-olds are this much on tilt, this much thrown into chaos by this slight schedule disruption that occurred in our household last night, how do the youth feel who are yanked from their homes and put into foster care? How do those kids feel when that happens? And who's hearing their pain? I don't think about these details at work. And you are. And that's the answer. And you're hearing those things. So we are so busy, and the dependency and neglect system, those cases are a blunt instrument. And so we are looking for safety. And our goal is not to create perfect families. Our goal, statutorily mandated, is to create the lowest level of acceptable parent that we can to make sure that safety issues are resolved and these children can go home. And I know that from within the system that can feel hard sometimes. And so I want to tell you all the ways that I see you making a difference. And I think that oftentimes the details that we get as juvenile judges and magistrates, the detailed reports that we get, sometimes the information contained in those reports, your observations, can have a direct impact on the decision making we make in the course of action that is taken in cases. Sometimes your observations in your reports don't have a direct impact, or the information you provide doesn't change the course of the decision making in the course of the case. But even in those cases, you are having a tremendous impact, and here's how. Is that you are the ones who are connected to these kids. You are the ones that are assuring them that everything is okay and that their needs are being taken seriously. And you're their voice. And you're also providing that role for other people within the case, foster parents, relatives, parents, even the ones who've had their kids removed. Oftentimes, I believe you're the one that are spending the most time with them. You're listening to them longer than anyone else has time for, sadly. And you're making them feel heard. And so in that way, too, you are making a tremendous difference for these kids and for the cases overall.